Alrighty, hello every folks and good morning. So first of all, apologies that it took longer than usual to get on this whole thing. I have not slept in like 3 days up until last night, so either way, feeling a lot more alive at the moment. But for another, I wanted to actually address another thing first, real quick. So while this trailer is all well and cool, let's go ahead and take a look at this thing right here. Because one of the things that I was personally hoping that they would get right when it came to a remake here was the weather effects in the background. Because for me personally, that's always been a pretty massive thing. And seeing as the lighting is properly affecting everything whenever the lightning hits the map, that has me pretty happy. Kind of a little detail, but moving on. So, a new trailer just dropped. It was a minute long, and yeah, let's go ahead and get into this little shindiggery, shall we? So, first of all, at first blush, I had to redo this part a little bit because it's. I'm assuming that the voice lines are kind of out of order here because it's funny how they have the lady wizard and they're like, "Know your place," and like the manliest voice ever. As they're just nuking the guy. But no, I'm assuming stuff's just out of order there. Also, just a quick thing. FF8 remake when? But no. So okay. First, yeah, I don't know what they're trying to prove themselves for. They are a mercenary. They are there to get paid, not prove themselves. But all right, whatever. Also, a little bit of a note here. This has been obviously covered to death already, but like for all the Reborn fans out there, this is just never going to not be satisfying. That they actually have the multipliers in there. That they have the XCOM 2 thing. Was asking for that ever since before Tor, but whatever. It's finally there. But it's cool to see that they're actually throwing in additional lines here before they even take their turn or whatever else. And we see that. Okay, we'll get to that other thing, dude. I'm liking Gaff's voice acting already. Properly smarmy. Also, we get to see that unfortunately Rad is dead. That's unfortunate. If they have the option to rename him, hopefully they have the option to rename him to his real name. Anyway, yeah, we got the Mystic over here with their Switch icon. But it's funny how they have the little voiceover lines even within the menu. I wonder if that's just sort of thrown in there or not. Oh, actually, this moment right here, kind of an interesting one. I saw a few comments coming in saying that they added like reaction abilities to spells. No. Look and watch the feet. Like, watch the feet up here, and there's the edit. So yeah, no, this is not a reaction to the blindness. They just wanted to show that he got punched a bunch. Anyway, hang on one quick second though. I just noticed one detail I didn't really think about earlier. But when they have people adding, they actually add them in a line. That's pretty cool. Now this makes me wonder because potentially the only other time that you'd have multiple people joining is if you're mass recruiting in the middle of a fight or something. But this is just like a cool angle. You got Roms over here just sitting, going and inspecting his troops and whatnot, and then you got multiple people joining in a line. That's interesting how they have that. Also, let's take a quick little look at the icons here. Yeah, we have confirmation of arithmetician over here, though I will say for the summoner, it's kind of interesting that they went with the Mog. I guess it would be the most visually identifiable, but oh well, it is what it is. Also, it's still funny to me that ever since people completely lost their shit over the Onion Knight or whatever else, every trailer since has used the cheat to put everybody at level 6 instead of 8. I feel so bad for whoever's in charge of that. Anyway, as they get very aggressive here. Going back to the skill list. Anything different here? I don't think so. This looks like, yeah, this looks like War of the Lions translations for all this kind of stuff. Um, yeah, no, nothing. Oh, yeah, they have the different cast speeds up here, all mentioned and whatnot, instead of putting it in vague terms that nobody's understanding. I wonder if when it comes to the speed system, how understandable it will be. We also see that they're definitely not shying away from actually properly, reading out all of the original lines and whatnot. So that's good to see. Also, I was trying to see if there's anything new on that particular map, but I don't think so. So yeah, that's more or less about it, I think. So let's go ahead and watch this over again, see if there's anything new to potentially break down here, because I think that more or less covers it. It mostly just gives us lots of reinforcement over the fact that yes, apparently your generics are going to be quite chatty, which is fantastic. And I love the water effects. I know it's not the biggest deal in the world, but seeing the new storm effect, the water effects being all nice and flowy, it's nice. And I will still choose to read that as an FF8 reference. When it comes to backgrounds, I was expecting to see a little bit more of things like flags moving around, although I guess that previous thing was indoors, so it wouldn't have made a whole lot of sense. No reason that they would have removed gravity damage, but somebody's eventually going to worry about that, so that's not there. We also see that the line underneath the knockout, like the little prediction line, previously I think there was some weird translation from the Japanese version before, but we see it does properly predict knockouts in this case. Anyway, so that's more or less going to be about that. I'm still curious to see whether people are going to be doing the usual over-assuming about this, because that's... Oh man, I can see that. I can see that potentially leading to a lot of misunderstandings. But seriously, just watch the feet. Like you can see the cut. You can see the cut right there as soon as they finish the blindness and stance change. So yeah, either way, before that ends up happening, let's just go ahead and throw that out there. All right. Anyways, I gotta get going. Apparently, the day is a lot more busy than I expected today. And yeah, y'all have yourselves a good one. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one. Later.